Why is it that giraffes have such long necks? Is it for reaching high leaves on trees? That can't be it. All other animals with long necks, like camels, have humps to balance their heads. To answer this question, we have to look at the evolutionary history of giraffes, all the way back to the Cretaceous period. That's when our ancestors split from the other great apes. The temperature dropped so much that the oceans froze, and the megalodon went extinct once and for all. It is a powerful weapon that allowed their ancestors to survive and gave them access to the most delicious food. Now you know. Hit the like button if you learned something new today and stay tuned for more videos. Suddenly, there was no more pressure for our ancestors to keep evolving away from the megalodon. So they stopped running away and they stopped shrinking their necks. In fact, their necks started growing again. But unlike the megalodon, which had a neck longer than any other animal, our ancestors now had the longest necks of any land mammal. This gave them the ability to reach the juiciest leaves at the top of the trees, leaves that were previously out of reach for them. We evolved in Africa. And after we left the trees and started walking on two legs, we didn't really need to keep climbing. So our arms got shorter and shorter over the next few million years, until they became basically non-functional. Now, this would normally be a good thing for our ancestors, because now they didn't have to deal with predators, like big cats or giant eagles that would come after them just for their yummy ape arms. But the problem was that during this same time period, the megalodon was still around, and it was still eating anything and everything, including our ancestors. Our ancestors couldn't climb trees anymore, so they had to find another way to escape the megalodon. So some of them started running away in the opposite direction, towards the water, where the megalodon would be waiting for them. But eventually, they found out that they could outrun the megalodon. Only one body part was holding them back: their necks. Their long necks were great for climbing trees, but they were terrible for running on the ground. So as the millions of years passed by, natural selection started acting on their necks, slowly but surely shortening them. Back then, one of the main predators of our early giraffe ancestors was the mighty sea megalodon, the largest shark that ever lived. The only thing bigger than its size was the size of its appetite. This guy ate anything and everything. And there were two main reasons why it was so successful at hunting. One, its huge size and powerful jaws meant that it could easily overpower its prey. And two, it had an incredibly long neck, longer than any other known animal of its time. It used this neck to reach into the water, to grab fish, and to yank them out of the water. And unfortunately, this is the exact same body plan that our early giraffe ancestors had. They were basically just smaller versions of the megalodon with spots, but giraffes don't. So there has to be another reason. Maybe it's to scare other animals. That sounds plausible. If I were a small antelope, I'd be pretty scared if a giraffe was nearby. But it turns out that this is not the real reason either. So why do giraffes have such long necks? Now, most people think that the megalodon went extinct about 23 million years ago. But recent studies have shown that it actually lived until just 3.6 million years ago. But here's the weird thing. Just a few 100,000 years ago, the ice sheet started covering the Earth. So the next time you see a giraffe, remember that its neck is not just for show.